Our project today is going to use some of the brambles that we collected yesterday and which we've already prepared. Willow is showing us the brambles that we collected yesterday, and you can see they're the ones we've already prepared. We have used the cloth to remove the prickles on them, and now they are ready to use. And today we're going to see if we can make a basket. We're going to take our first section of bramble and we need to cut it into 6 equal pieces. You probably want them to be about 30 centimetres long. These are going to make the sides of your basket. That bit snap there, so I'm going to take that bit off. It's about 30 centimetres long, and you will need 6 of roughly the same length. And you should choose your thicker brambles here. So if we get our 3 brambles and our 3 brambles, we're going to cross them over like that. Okay, so we've got 3 on top and 3 underneath. Then you need to get quite a long, thin bramble like this one, and you are going to fold it in half and wrap it around those first 3. If that makes sense. So I folded it in half and wrapped it around those next 3. The next thing I'm going to do is cross those over and wrap them around the next 2 brambles like so. And you're going to carry on. So I'm going to fold them over each other, and one's going to go in front, one's going to go behind the next set of brambles. Then I'm going to continue to work around like that. So I've crossed them over. One goes over the top, one goes underneath. Cross them over, one goes over the top, one goes underneath. And we're looking to do this about 3 times round. So I've gone around 3 or 4 times. I've got to the end of my bramble, and so that this is a bit secure, I'm going to lock it in to a piece that I've already done. Locked one in already, and you're just looking for another hole that you can lock it down into and secure that piece. They have to be quite flexible, and keep pushing them, don't give up. So that's all locked in, and you can see that's going to be the base of my basket. All of these extra bits we can trim off at the end. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start to flex these up. Nice and gently, just bending them a little bit at a time just to give them a bit of a curve. I'm going to go around and do that with each side. You don't want to be putting too much pressure on them because they might snap, and we just want to give them a bit of a bend. So they've got a curve up. So now that we're going to have these bent up, these are going to become the edges of our basket, or the spokes, and we want to be pulling them apart as we go so that they are evenly spaced out around our basket. So I'm going to take another bramble and I folded it in half, and we're doing something very similar to what we did before, but instead of going around the 3 spokes, we're going around individual ones now. So I'm going to hook that on to my first spoke, or my first edge part. I'm going to cross my bramble over, and once again one bit's going to go on one side of the spoke and the other bit's going to go on the other side. Then I'm going to cross them over, and it's just sort of weaving in and out. So I'm going to cross them over again, and this bit's tricky because we're moving from one set of 3 to the next set of 3. So you will need to really manipulate those so that they are in the right place and evenly spaced. So crossing over again, you can sort of move your basket around as you go, lifting your spoke up. As you see, I've crossed them over already, crossing them over, lifting the spoke up. And the other thing is you want to push down as well, so you're not going to have spaces in your basket. So moving from one set of 3 to the next set of 3. So pull them up, wrap around the bramble, cross them over, and going on to the next one, crossing them over, and onto the next one. Remember to push down. So just filming from another angle so you can get a real good shot of what we're doing. We're wrapping round the spoke bramble, crossing those brambles over and then moving on to the next one. So once again, crossing them over and moving on to the next one. Wrapping them round, crossing them over and moving on to the next one. So I'm getting to the end of this bramble now. So to lock it in, sort of hold it, I need to go back down into my basket and thread it through. The same with this end here. I'm going to sort of bend it over and lock it down by poking it through one of the holes. And it's important every time you do that you're pulling it tight, pushing all of these bits down so that we haven't got any gaps. Well, we've got small gaps here because you won't be able to do anything with that at the end. And as I said before, with these bits on the back, we're going to use the secateurs to neaten it all up at the end. Now that I've got to the end of that last bramble, all you do is you're folding the bramble again and you're thinking about where you left off, which was roughly about here. So I'm going to hook that on and I am going to continue crossing over those brambles, having one on each side. Remember to keep lifting up your spokes so that you've got the shape of your basket, the edges of your basket are going to come up and form. So crossing over those brambles, getting that spoke in the way there, lifting it up, making sure this gap is not too big, crossing the brambles over and wrapping them around the next spoke. And you keep going like that. You might get to a point where you find it easier to move your basket onto your lap, because then it allows you to sort of press the basket in to keep those sides up, and as you're going round you can press down on top to push those pieces down. So I'm going to work with it in my lap now. So still the same thing, overlapping, pushing that down, crossing them over, round the next one, pushing it down, crossing them over, round the next spoke and pushing it down. You want to be pushing it down and pulling these spokes up all the way around so you're getting the shape of your basket and you're trying not to get any holes or too big holes so that your basket is able to be used. I've got to the point where I'm happy with the height of my basket now. You can see I've put on quite a few. There are a few holes, but that's what makes your basket unique. But I feel happy that that's a good height for my basket. So now I have tucked in all of the end bits of my vines that I was wrapping around. And now I need to sort out the top of my basket. So to do this, all I'm going to do is take each spoke and I'm going to fold it over and put it inside the next one. So this one is going to fold over and it's going to go tucking inside the next spoke. This one's going to fold over and tuck on the inside of the next spoke. This one's going to fold over and tuck on the inside of the next spoke. And I'm going to keep going round with that. And as you can see, each time you're putting it down, you're locking the next one. I've reached the last part of the last two spokes of my basket. So this one will fold over and tuck on the inside here. But this last one will need to be going and tucking in somewhere along here just to really secure it. So I'm going to really just try and push it through there. You may need a tool to help you, but the longer, I think I've left these a bit too short, but you want to be able to tuck it through in there, just like that. Next thing we're going to do is going to go round our basket with our secateurs and just cutting off any of the excess bits that were hanging out from before, like this. Any of the spokes that now need to be cut shorter, you don't need anymore. Thanks, Willow. Until you're happy with the finished product. If you want to make a handle for your basket, Yeah, we're going to try making a plaited one. So we've got 3 pieces of bramble here, and I'm going to insert the 3 pieces down into my basket, threading them through any hole that you can sort of find near enough. To make it more secure, you might want to go in further down your basket. So I'm going to try and push them through this hole here. And you may need something else to help you. I'm going to use my secateurs to push them. And my last one. Okay, so the 3 are in there. And now we're going to see if we can plait them. So for those people who are good at plaiting hair, I'm going to right over left, left into the middle, right into the middle, left into the middle, right into the middle, left into the middle, and we're going to keep plaiting those brambles. I've finished plaiting my handle, and I've cut it to length now because I want it to be this length, and I'm just going to find a place to secure these into. So I've put the bits of the handle through there, and that is my finished bramble basket. We're really proud with how that came out. They all look quite unique, and the colours of the different types of brambles really look lovely. That will dry out and you'll be able to use that to collect whatever you find. We hope you enjoyed that today. Remember, if you are enjoying our videos, we would really appreciate you subscribing to our YouTube channel so you can see all of our content.